What's going on, everybody? Andrew Thompson here of the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. My guest today is an artist in the music genre. You may remember him from his time from the glory days of Ring of Honor. He's a manager, commentator, and much more. This is Julius Smokes. Julius, what's going on, man?
God bless America. Yeah. Come. And I say immediately.
I say, how you feeling, man? How you doing these days?
Yo, same doo-doo, different toilet. You know what I mean? Just keeping my head above water right now, yo. Just doing what I do best.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So just
Rock dollars. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, just to start us off, man. Tell me, of course, tell me what you've been up to, man. What are some of the projects you got in the works? And of course, as I just reiterated before, what's been going on in the world of Julius Smokes, work-wise, project-wise, music-wise? What's going
on? Capital Wrestling. Wow, there's a lot of great things going on there with the rep. We was tag team champions 2 times. You know what I'm saying? We're going for that 3rd ring right now. Literally, in every which way. We're going to be in your ass like a G-string or gerbil. You know what I mean? We're getting it out there in New Jersey right now, Munster Island. And, wow. Urban Wrestling Lead, Lotto the Don. You know what I'm saying? We just, I just dropped some music with him in a video about the Urban Wrestling League, which I started back in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
I was a wrestler there with Lotto the Don. He actually owned the organization. You know what I'm saying? But my first promo I ever did is on YouTube right now from 1996.
Mm.
Drinking from the fountain of youth. As I said, I'm glad to be here. It's 2020.
Yes,
you got
sir.
an interview from 1996 from me on there. Yo, bless up Lotto the Don. Urban Wrestling Lead. And you got to talk about the Urban Wrestling Federation.
Yep.
Oh, wee! To live and die in LA. You know what I mean? Big things going on here underneath the table. I mean, we everywhere. We on what? 2B, but 2 by TV. I don't know, but I'm pronouncing it correctly.
So you said 2 by TV?
Yeah.
I believe
we're on different platforms on your smart television.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like IWTV.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
Jersey All Pro. Yep. Yeah. Jersey All Pro catalog is on there right now. So you see me from 2002, 2000, Seaside Heights, Fat Frank, rest in peace, love you, baby.
And like specifically on the music front, like is it kind of like kind of impossible to kind of keep the two separate, like as far as like your music and your pro wrestling career, like as far as like lyrics and stuff go, you just like to kind of blend everything together?
Right, it's like peanut butter and jelly,
right?
You know, or pork and beans and I don't eat pork, baked beans and sausages. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You slice it up, it all goes together, literally, because I control the whole spectrum right now. You know, my theme music is me. I come down to my own music in the whole 10 yards. You know what I'm saying? I'm a musical artist. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Through the Head Records. And I manage, pro wrestle, commentate, Jamie Foxx effect.
But like something I'm like real curious to hear about from you. And you did mention the Urban Wrestling League, Urban Wrestling Federation. Do you see any kind of like similarities between like the promo style that you guys delivered back then opposed to like what you see now? Because you kind of see some of the same like mannerisms now.
Oh yeah, thank you. Like the Street Profits, yo, I loved them. You know what I'm saying? And the whole 10 yards. But WWE always did the dab in the hip hop culture to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
With Mabel and them back in the days. What was the name of the group it was in?
Mabel.
Yeah, remember Mabel?
Yeah, I remember Mabel. That's yeah. I can't remember.
The truth. It's right on the tip of my tongue right now.
I know one group he was in back in the.
Shit and killed for stinking for not even knowing that. Men on a mission.
Okay.
Enough respect now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, and you just gotta pay respect when you see it. And plus Flash Funk, 2 Court Scorpio, salute.
Yeah, 2 Court Scorpio still going hard out here, man, to this day.
Still going hard,
day.
yo.
To this day. I see him. I saw he was working the independent show, I think last weekend, and I know he was on the Florida Culture show.
Totally underrated. Should be honored in a lot of different ways, yo. Put his jersey in the Raptors already, man.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But like I know when I first reached out to you, I know it was kind of random. But like I was so the reason I came across you was because I was reviewing a show, the ROH Manhattan Mayhem show. I think it's from 2007. It's 2007, I believe. And like one of the clips I seen you in is like my first time really like seeing you because I had seen clips of you before on social media, and I was like, man, this dude got like the mic skills, like all the more mannerisms and the gyrations, like you had all that. So like when you were like, do you think kind of in a way, and not necessarily this is like a regret thing, because I mean it ain't nothing you can control, but like, do you think more so like you kind of came up in like kind of a the not necessarily the wrong era, but like you wish you could have came up in a different time period like now? Because I think like your mannerisms and your gyrations, like you'd have probably been like gifts.
I'm
like
driving a Maybach
like,
right now, right? They eat off my food, eat off my plate. No, not necessarily. Life was all about progression, about opening doors for others. You know,
right.
When I see New Jack in ECW and the whole 10 yards, with the music, with the gangsters and the whole team, It was incredible, so that was intriguing, and that was the hip-hop mannerisms and everything that took place there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With the ECW, with the music caught me, if anything. And that opened the doors, opened the floodgates for me to do what I had to do. That was like, okay, you acting gangster with it, I'm from the trap house. You know what I mean? So let's do it then. We can talk that trap house game right now. Gucci, 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 Uchi, Uchi, Gucci, Gucci. Let me stop. Weezy killed them. Nah. I like both of those guys, but a lot of people from up north don't know about that dirty, get dirty South. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. But
I'm your best friend, but I make a key to your house at the same time. Don't fuck around with me.
but like I think you would have been like one of those like really like you know how people they be having all the gifts, all the different people be having like 100 200 gifts on social media. I think you'd have definitely been one of those people. That's why I said like I felt like you kind of like if you was in this current generation of wrestling, man, I'm telling you it would have been crazy. Like you said, you would have been driving a Maybach right now. But like but like going back to that ROH show, I think like one of the best parts I saw from that show is like when you and Ruckus, y'all had like this predominantly white crowd singing along to Jim Jones balling. That was like one of the best moments on that show.
Chocolate Vulture.
That was hilarious. But have you spoken to Ruckus lately? Yeah, have you spoken to him lately, or have you know what he's been up to?
Underneath your door right now. Didn't he slim up?
Yeah, he did. I saw a couple pictures of him.
Temple. Your body's your temple, and basically he did it when he was 200 or something pounds, going on 300. It looked like about to pop like a tick. Did he slim down? You know what I'm saying? And had that gymnastic body and everything else, and he did it too. So enough respect for him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was an honor just to work with him, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. But the crowd and everything like that, you see 90%, what they said before, 90, I think it was 85 to 75% of hip-hop during the 90s and early 2000s was bought by Caucasians.
Mm.
So they understand our lingo. It's just all about the promoters letting us get the opportunity to do what we do best, to grab the attention from the crowd. They love it.
Yeah.
It's unleash it. It's all about putting butts in the seats, asses in the seats. Bottom line. Right now, it's all about how many likes and how many views you have on your videos right now, YouTube, Vivo, and stuff like that. It's a digital game now. It's a digital wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Your views right now is the fans. So if you can't get no views, hey, I don't understand your point of view. It's a number game. Ducati, Booty Head Records.
Like that period of ROH you was in, man, I think that was like a real special time just as far as like talent goes, and to kind of see where everybody is now, like the Claudios, Cesaro, the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayns, the Chris Heroes of the world, man, and of course Homicide. Like what was the vibe like, man, in some of these locker rooms with just these different
man. Ooh.
Like
Touch for the very first time. Yo, let me tell you something right now. That's when it was straight up raw, when it was caterpillars that turned into butterflies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You call them 2002, 2001, 2003, the Christopher Daniels, the
Samoa Joes of the world.
Samoan Joes. Wow. Dan Moff.
Brian
Low
Danielson.
Key. Homicide. I'm putting on my group right now, man. Love Like Louie.
Yeah.
Rock Wallace. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Reyes. Rocky Romero. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
List goes on, baby. Gotta put over my guys, because that's what the wrestling business is about. And put over Gabe and Curry for giving us the opportunity at that particular time to do what we do best, because we was running New York City.
Mm. But like, isn't it crazy to still see, like you mentioned Rocky Romero, to still see him like making the strides? He's still making music. Rocky over there in New Japan, and a real important role over there in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Man, Rocky doing his thing right now. I know he's
that's a real hustler. That's what I'm saying. It's just basically putting everything in the pot towards what you know what to do and bring it to the table and making money off of it. It's pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he's done. He's very talented. I didn't even channel into the hip-hop side of him when he was around me. That's incredible. I didn't even know he had that side to him.
Yeah, but Rocky definitely...
That's what I'm saying. Yo, salute.
Yeah, Rocky definitely doing this thing with the music. I know he's he made a couple. I think I think he made some albums. I think a couple tracks, and he got his own theme song with New Japan that they play for him when he comes out to the ring. So yeah, Rocky doing his thing right now. And like I mentioned Homicide at the end right there. Yeah, I mentioned Homicide at the end right there. Your experiences working with him. Like just break that down for me, man. And I know I know Homicide was supposed to come back to Ring of Honor earlier this year before the pandemic happened, and he was supposed to wrestle at that past versus present show. And like one of the names that I kept seeing, like people was quote tweeting, the initial tweet was like, oh yeah, they did bring back Julius Smokes, and that's where like when I first when I watched that.
You talk about the elephant in the room that everybody else is scared to talk about. What happened to Julius Smokes? Why did I book a Julius Smokes? See, I like that. Keep it $1,000. Systemic racism. Do you know about it? I don't, but I never blamed it on anything because I work hard at everything that I do.
Like,
but people from the outside looking in are telling me something else totally different. It's crazy.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Please go, feel free. I'm all ears.
Let's talk about it.
So when you talk like,
why do you think I wasn't booked on that show? What was the situation behind that? The hook and crook. Now, honest with you, Homicide told me that, yo, Jay, they didn't have your information. They're going to get in contact with you. I was like, we all on Facebook together. That's what he told me.
And that was early.
He know for love coming from Homicide. I thought he told me the truth behind that. Because he wanted to know, too, what the situation was. They said they couldn't get in contact with you. I said, wow, okay.
Like when I hear that, like when you just said this, that don't make no sense to me, because it's easy to reach out to somebody, easy to search up a name on Twitter or Google, and like I easily found you when I just searched your name up and your social media came up. So I don't think it really makes sense.
The company was bought by
Sinclair.
From that transition after that took place, that's where the funny movement started taking place.
Okay.
Honest with you. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Nothing lasts forever. I was there 2002 all the way to 2011. You know what I mean? So some people was using that as a catalyst and catapult himself on to go to the WWE and AEW, TNA, and all that different stuff like that. They was using it as a high reel. I used to Ring of Honor like, yo, we gonna be on TV one day. This is my home. Fuck, I ain't going nowhere. And look what happened.
Right.
You can't blame it on Jim Cornette.
And you like it's like you mentioned, like being those like.
Come on, man. It is what it is, though. Everything don't last forever, bro. I was grateful for the time I was there.
Is that you mentioned like being like one of those, wanting to be one of those ROH, long timers. Like I know the Briscoes, they've been there since the jump, and they still with the with Ring of Honor. I know they did an interview. I was manager of the year from 2003 to 2007. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. Like, and I know about like 8 or 9 years ago. So I
never did anything destructive behind the scenes, or you know what I'm saying, or step on a banana peel and cut my nose, decide my face. I was professional all the way around. You know what I mean? That's the way I carry myself. That's the way I left.
Mm-hmm.
With respect, man.
Mm-hmm.
Come. And it was a great time. As I said, I enjoyed the experience. I just want to be brought back with some reunion shows because the fans want it.
Yeah, people would definitely like. That's what
I'm
I
an
said.
energy guy. Nobody does what I do. I'm original.
Yeah, well, like just like I mentioned when they put up the Homicide tweet about him facing Brody King at the Past vs. Present show, like most of the quote tweets is like, oh, is Homicide gonna come out with Julius Smokes? Is Julius Smokes coming out with Homicide? And I think that was just like a real cool thing to just kind of let you know that people still remember and they still appreciate it. So I think that was like a real cool thing. It'd have been cool to see it happen, or maybe as a surprise, but it's just crazy to me that they didn't like at least attempt to reach out and try to like since it was a reunion show of sorts, they could have brought back all the original ROH guys.
It's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? But God don't like ugly. I mean, basically out of nowhere, the pandemic came around and nobody's out there working the way they want to work right now. I won't wish this on my worst enemy was happening to us right now, literally. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow. But I thought if anything was gonna wait, and I tell the fans that I was gonna come out there to Las Vegas, and they hit me off and be like, "Yo, Smokes, you on your way."
Mm.
But when I seen it was gonna happen, I still was happy for the guys that was going. I'm not a hater at all, man. I'm a team player all the way, man.
All right. And like,
I really played basketball or football when I was younger. I came from the AAU circuits, man. I know what it is to really be a team player. And I hate no one that moves up and do what they do. I salute you because I know God has a bigger plan for me.
Yeah.
Come.
It is,
and
man.
it's longevity.
Definitely is.
I'm black alive. I love wrestling, man.
Like I say, like I know about 8 or 9 years ago, I know you had a chance to wrestle Xavier from an ROH wrestler, Xavier, John Bedoya, who unfortunately, he passed away over the summer. Like any memory, any memories or exchanges that you recall with Xavier that you can share?
Elegance, demanded respect by looking at the work that he put in and respected the game. Your body is your temple. Look at the guy he was built. I feel he looked better than The Rock. Oops. Wow, I just said that. He just had that look, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I felt that if he wanted to go to the WWE and go through the system, he would have been there. But I think he didn't like how the system was or what it has to be. It is what it is. I don't know what the situation was, but he was very talented. Loved his son to death. His son was just like him. And a tremendous loss, man. God bless his heart.
Yeah.
His family.
That definitely a tremendous loss.
Wow.
Like when he passed,
Brother
man.
Right there, man.
When he passed, man, the outpour of people that came out, man, and just showed love for him and showed like their memories and stuff like that. It was crazy to see like that much. Like it was a crazy amount of support that came out, and I think people got together and kind of, I think they came together for his family, on different fronts. So I think that was cool to see, man. It just goes to show you how well respected he was, and just to hear you speak about him in that manner, it just goes to back up what you just said.
Absolutely. No. Everything spiritually is basically spiritually connected. When you talk about your alumni brothers, yo, because you basically giving your body out there to somebody and say, hey, yo, take care of me tonight. We're going out there to have a good time, but take care of me tonight. We boys. Let's take each other's head off, but let's know how to do it. And he knew how to do that. You saw the matches with him and Loki?
Yeah, man. Low key, quite the striker.
Shout out to Frank Goodman. You know what I mean? Promoters and, the old school promoters from New York and everybody like that, especially my Bobby Lambardi. But big shout out to Frank Goodman and everybody else who gave us opportunity and shine. And that's what it was all about, man, opportunity. And I appreciated it. I use it as a springboard. I've been doing music ever since I was in the 12th grade of high school, man, 11th grade with the Force MDs, DJ Shaw, Dr. Shock from Mitchell Project, 138th Street. You know what I'm saying? 136th Street. Hellbound. I survived the crack years, man. Like, yo, dog, I knew people who were 16, 18 years old, big-time crack dealers, man. Survived all systemic racism, all that different shit that's in our neighborhood to hold us back. I'm a survivor of all that. I've seen it all, bro. Trap, 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 trap.
So
You want to talk about being poor, please. I'll be laughing at some of the promos I be seeing sometimes, but big shout out to everybody doing their thing. You don't know about being fucking poor.
So tell me this, right? How have your past experiences helped shape you into the individual that you become to this day?
Say that again?
I say how have the experiences that you went through in life helped shape you to become the individual that you are today?
Made me a man. My name's on my lease.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line right there. That's the bottom line.
I like to be the boss. My boy House, Anthony Fulmore came into my life again back in 2015, but I actually met him back in 1999, 2000 at the Doghouse.
Mm.
You know, when I was getting my J train on real heavy there. Homicide was one of the greatest young bookers at that particular time at the Doghouse. Him and T.O.T. did a phenomenal job there, man. Flourishing and developing people's talents to be who they are right now. Papa Don, the list goes on. People, come on, yo. The Grim Reaper. You know, people like that's been holding it down for years. People don't talk about, yo, those guys deserve the shot too.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And the House gave me opportunity to start Buddha Hair Records, yo, and make everything legitimate and take it to the next level. But he always owned his own businesses on the side. So I came to him and was like, yo, I'm going to start Buddha Hair Records, man.
Mm.
We registered in the New York State, pay my taxes, and I got my real record company going on.
Oh, that's what's up. Congratulations on that, man. That's what's up.
So I'm just doing my thing, man.
So, like, was it tell me, like, when
I came to New York to eat.
Mm.
Like, what Puff Daddy say? You go into the jungle, you leave it with a tequila. Facts.
So tell me, like,
you gotta have 3 to 4 jobs in New York. You gotta hustle in New York, yo. You gotta be hungry.
So tell me, like, what point in your life did you like seriously want to pursue music and turn it into the business that you have to this day? Like, when was that point in your life where you was like, you know what, let me go at this hard, let me go at this, you know?
Yeah, man, I was winning breakdancing contests in Virginia, yo. When I was going to school in Virginia, I was born in New York, but my mother passed away when I was like 3 or 4 months.
To hear that.
You know what I'm saying? So my grandmother and took me down south for not American Gangster. Lived down there in Virginia, yo. Earl Fodra, rest in peace, yo. Facts, my nigga. He bought his mama a house before he went to prison and did 33 years. You know what I mean? He came from that 70 era. That, you know, that Frank Lucas era, bro. Seriously, yo, American Gangster. Earl Fodra, rest in peace, yo. God bless his heart. But I was in Virginia for a quick minute, man. In the suburbs, yo, and went to school down there. I played on an all-white basketball team, bro. I was the only black on there. And I had the time of my fucking life. Yo, you know what's so crazy? Then I moved to New York City, 13, 14 years old. I was always coming back and forth to New York City to the Bronx, to my sis house, Desmond, and all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? We have a real conversation right now. We're going to get into it. And it was like, I was going to school with straight Puerto Ricans and blacks, and the only whites you had in the school was the teachers. And they were scared to death. Taft High School, trading animals for tomorrow. They ain't lie about that. I see some of the hellish fights and games that I ain't never see when I was down south. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad I came to New York City. It was a movie that took place right in front of me. And that's what you see out there. See, I was at school, get my grades on, all that good shit so I could be on the basketball, football team, but there was a lot going on around me. You know, now that's what you get in some of my acts in wrestling. You get that energy that I was around, that I've seen in some of the fights I went through for real. I didn't come from the computer and just want to get into wrestling. I really came from the battlefields. from, in the 80s when they talked about, Dick Slater, Dick Murdoch. They had fighting bars and all. Now, I was fighting in school, bars and all that good shit, too, in the hood. They're good in the Bronx. What's good? When you get sliced up, some of the best Puerto Rican fighters out there, man, you fighting with a blade in your hand. Puerto Rico all day. You knew that straight up. Watch out for the blade. Come. Let's go, baby. Let's talk about this wrestling. I don't want to scare you. Let's go.
Nah, you good, man. I'm listening to what you're saying. I like the conversation, man. We ain't got to keep it strictly wrestling. So tell me about your experiences growing up. More experiences that you had growing up in New York City as far as, like, just the life there and the
Gates of hell, man. And you know what? I don't really like that crabs in the barrel, because crabs in the barrel is not loyal. Once you get out, you say fuck everybody.
Right.
I'm just all about just climbing out, and it's not even climbing out, yo.
So
the skillful people come together.
So let me ask you.
And we form like Voltron and fuck everybody else. So that's how I go.
So let me ask you this, like,
we form like Voltron.
So let me ask you this, right? So when you finally did start to see that success in your life, right? When you started hitting that certain point where you realizing that you are making plays and you are, you setting yourself up for your future, did those people who kind of weren't supportive of you back then, when they started to see that success started to come about, did they try to, like, infiltrate that and try to get into that and try to, be on your side at that point when you were already on your way up?
No, not really, because basically coming out of high school and and everything like that, it was almost like they had high aspirations for me anyway. Okay. I mean, I was inspired to do what I had to do because I won breakdance contests when I was young. I was doing talent shows in different places. I was really playing football, basketball on teams. So my DNA was like, yo, you're going to be somebody one day. Go after it.
Right.
So I went into business and management when I wanted to go to college. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was about. And I was a college-bound student. I graduated with 2 fucking diplomas coming from Taft High School, man. College-bound diploma and a high school diploma.
That's what's up.
Call me a nerd all you want, so I was getting mine. You fucking cool, boy. Come on, so you going to class? Yeah, I'm going to 8th grade. I mean, I'm going to 8th period. Everybody used to cut the 8th or 9th class. I used to go because I wanted to pass.
Right. And you should.
My uncles and aunts, Air Force family, some of them went to Hampton University. Ain't no way the hell I will be in a conversation with one of them and I ain't get mine. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I had to get it, bro.
Like so you was planning to
I ain't no low life around me and my family like that. My family was out there going to get it.
So you was planning to head out college out VA? Because I went to college out VA too. So I think that's a little cool little thing right there. You said you was planning on, or you was looking at.
Yeah, I was gonna go to Virginia Union, but I got bit by the hip hop bug in New York City.
Okay.
And I started making music and demos and stuff like that, so I stayed.
Right.
So it was one of them situations that went on. But I got accepted to that college. I got a scholarship to Washington State University.
That's what's up, man.
Yo, you know what's so crazy about when I got that scholarship? I thought it was Washington, D.C. Washington State is in Seattle, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, so that's what bugged me out. And they wanted me to fill out a 500-word essay while I wanted to have this scholarship and go to the school. I never filled it out. That's why I'm doing hip-hop. Oops, I never told that story.
Can you imagine, like, do you ever think about sometimes, like, how different?
Oh, that shit was like, oh, man. I was getting so many college letters because I graduated, my 12th grade, I graduated from my sister's house because I moved out of my aunt's house at the time. Me and my cousin was fighting like cat and dog in the house all the time. It was just time to move out. But anyway, I graduated from my sister's house. So I was to go down the block, Metro Projects, to get my college letters out. Yo, the college letters was fucking busting out the fucking mailbox. They had to sit it outside.
Do you ever sit back and think about sometimes how different things could have been if you would have made one life choice differently, or like you would have filled out the application, or like you would have went to, like, can you imagine like how possibly you wouldn't have came into contact with those that you did at ROH, and how different just things would have been. Like, I think that's crazy, man. Like,
nah, No regrets, man. It was what it was. It
Right.
was a tidal wave, man. It was something special going on in New York City at that time for me, man. And I was glad to meet the people that I did. It was a good and bad experience, man. It made me who I am right now. I'm self-sufficient. I own my masters. Back
Hey.
then, knowing who I am right now, I want to own my masters from back then. I'll be fighting for it. And I have a name right now. Don't get it fucked up. But at the same time, I just like being a boss, and I follow the blueprints of Prince. I listen.
Mm.
Rest in peace, Prince. I love you, baby. Oh yeah.
So tell me like some of the
Computer blue, computer blue, computer blue.
so
Oh,
so
that's my down south side coming out.
so tell me about some of the differences that you see in today's New York City, man, versus what you see. I mean, versus the New York City that you grew up in. Like, do you see it like kind of like more widespread now as far as like diversity and like it's so many different cultures in New York, or opposed to what it was back when you was growing up in it?
Corona, Corona.
Yeah, that too.
It started off as a Chinese story. That's where we at right now. Everything didn't change, bro.
Mm.
You said, yo, Jay Smokes crazy. Yeah, I am. Hell yeah. Yo. Everything is basically, it's getting where you fit in right now. So,
Yeah.
that's where we at right now, bro.
So like going back to the wrestling front, I think they had the Game Changer Wrestling. They had a tribute show. I think the Homicide last year, summer 2019. I think I don't know if I'm mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
JCW.
But yeah, GCW. You were at that show, right?
Wow. Absolutely. My DNA is on that show. I did the after party at that show. I managed Homicide at the show. LAX that night against LAX. That was an incredible atmosphere, yo.
Yeah.
Cut the tension with a fucking knife. Seriously, man. It was phenomenal. The people on the card, just knowing it was Homicide, man, they went on out.
Yeah, he definitely did. Like,
It's like Coach Belichick. It's like playing for Coach Belichick, or you just want to run. You want to run through the wall for him because it was Homicide, and that's what you saw the action that night coming from everybody. Everybody gave 120%.
I said it just kind of came to my mind, like when we were talking about Homicide earlier. I remember they did a tribute show for him last year, and I was like, I just know for certain because that was this year it felt like 2 years in itself. So anything that's last year, it kind of felt like just a blur. So like I was just like, yeah, I know, I'm probably pretty sure Julius Smokes was at that show. So that's cool, man, that you got to, I think it's cool when they do those type of tribute shows, man, because it really shows that those talents who really like essentially, man, just threw their bodies around for for the entertainment of so many people, they really get that respect. And it's like one of those nights where they can just be praised and kind of bask in the career that they've had, and it kind of lets people know, or lets them know that they are appreciated for what they contributed.
Yeah, a illustrious career, opened the doors, gave people opportunities to basically do what they love and live your childhood dreams, which is be a wrestler.
Right.
And then he put you to a certain point where you take the training wheels off. It's on you now, because everybody's private contractors. It's up to you to to navigate and network to basically get your bookings. You can't suck on titties or jack off anything, bro. No, I'm just keeping it real with you.
No,
That's what it is, bro.
I feel you.
Everybody's in your own private entity. But when it's time to come together at Voltron, we did that night. And you saw, we didn't lose a step.
So is it like take me back to, like, I know you mentioned the energy was crazy that night. Like, did you kind of you like, I'm pretty sure everybody there was kind of just living in that moment. But like, is it like one of those moments when you looking in the ring, man, and you outside the crowd, you backstage, and you just like, damn, like, we made it? Is that like, was it one of those type of feelings?
Nah, it's poetry in motion,
Right.
I'm used to playing basketball when I was 7th, 8th grade in front of 1,500 people. It's poetry in motion to me. I know I'm out there performing. When I used to go to those basketball games, AAU, I knew it was a certain girl or somebody looking at me a certain way. So when I was at the free throw line, I made sure it looked sweet for her, for their cheerleaders on the sideline. I just understood what the crowd was, bro, at a young age. So when I got into wrestling, it was boom. Okay, this is what we do. I love it. And I love wrestling. I was going to wrestling shows anyway. ECW, 96 in the Lost Battalion Hall when it was doing shows in Queens and all that. So I was part of the chants that was there. Hogan must die! Hogan must die!
Like when you, so like when you...
No. That's what you used to say at the beginning of the ECW shows that used to come to New York City in 95, 96.
No, I'm hip.
That was the chant.
I'm hip. I went back and seen some of those old shows, man, and I ain't no Hogan fan in the slightest. So I mean,
I love Hogan. Everything he brought to the pageantry, the opportunity, the money. Come on, man.
Hogan fan?
I love Ric Flair. Come on.
Now, see, the only reason I say I'm pretty sure I ain't gotta explain to you as far as like why I say that about Hulk Hogan. You know that whole video that came out a couple years.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yo, that slipped right over my head. I'll leave you alone.
That's why I said that, man. I ain't no Hogan fan in the slightest. And like when you said like the old ECW chants when they like Hogan must die.
God is a forgiving God. God is a forgiving God.
He is. But like it's certain situations like that, man. You know. And like the thing is, like with that situation, I don't really think he ever apologized for it. And matter of fact, I think he did come out to some of the black talents in WWE, and I think he apologized to them. But I'm like, I don't really think he apologized because he felt bad. I think he apologized because he got caught. Like I don't ever think it was nothing like he genuinely felt bad about. But like I think it was just more so of a situation where like he like, damn, I got caught, so let me just put out this goodwill statement.
I said, only God can judge me now.
I feel you on that.
He's a mighty God, and he's a forgiving God. I'm human. I'm in the flesh, and you in the flesh, so you might feel a certain way. But I turned the other cheek on that one, bro.
I feel you on that. We're gonna leave that one.
I was talking about career-wise, and with him and Vince McMahon, and brought to the table to expand wrestling, and brought it to the movie screens and everything else. It was just tremendous. But I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We're gonna let that.
Yo, hold on. Low Life Louie, I didn't crash him. I'm showing up right now. That's my boy's boy right there. He love Hogan, so I leave that alone, man.
That's how I said we're gonna let that one sit. We're gonna let that one sit where it is, man. But like, to kind of continuing on the topic just a little bit, but just transitioning over, like during that early 2000s period of wrestling, just give me like a little insight, like as to what it was like as a black man, a black wrestler, in that period. Like even when I was watching one of the shows, man, and the people had the Confederate flags out and all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh hell, but just tell me like what was it like during that period? Because I'm pretty sure the fans were a little extra bold in terms of like what they were saying to y'all, because it was like it wasn't as publicized back then opposed to today. You say that stuff, you end up getting kicked out or anything happened. Just tell me a little bit about your experience back then.
Basically, as I said before, my experience playing AAU basketball, football in Virginia and whatnot in the suburbs, I was the only black person on the basketball team, so I heard a lot of different things. I mean, I have thick skin that people in New York City didn't really understand. I mean, I got criticized for saying theoretically and, speaking a little proper sometime and whatnot. So, I just adapted with the hood and not the hood, but just how we speak in general. We just have a different lingo.
Yeah.
Blacks, we roll in different tribes. We tribal people. And we can communicate in a lot of different ways. So being in that atmosphere, I didn't really hear anything that really threw me off, honest with you. Spread the cheese on the cracker came when I was saying that. I had people, the little kids in the crowd that was waiting for me to say it, that was telling me to say it. Julius, can you say spread the cheese on the cracker? And I said, oh my God, Julius, can I have an autograph? I'm like, wow, they love it. They got it.
Right.
They got what it was. Because it didn't come from a racist type of energy. I say that to anybody. I spread the cheese on the cracker. I spread the cheese on the Dominican. I say to everybody. Puerto Rican, black, it didn't matter. That's what it was. So it fits.
Mm-hmm.
They know the energy when you're racist. And I don't have that bone in me. I don't own anything like that to be racist.
Like, and you know, like something real interesting that you said was like you know, you kind of got to experience best of both worlds, both sides of the world. Like when you were a kid, like, you know, being that one black kid in, you know, these predominantly white areas or these predominantly other ethnicity areas and stuff like that, and then, you know, you haven't.
No. You know what? I ain't gonna say predominantly white area where I lived at in Virginia. It was predominantly blacks that went to college and owned something. I lived on a block of Virginia, Marsville, Virginia, and the Speedway, where the Speedway is located at, where you had a bunch of black people that owned houses.
Okay.
When I came to New York City, everybody was living in the projects and living in the brownstones. It was just totally different atmosphere.
Okay.
But it all depends on who owns it.
Okay. Yeah.
Ownership.
So like yeah. So like kind of continuing on that, like, do you think it kind of really helped you like growing up as an individual and then even finding yourself like when you, because you got to experience both sides of it. Like I think that's like a real,
absolutely,
that's a real balance right there, and it help you kind of figure yourself out as a man.
Yeah, but somehow you get categorized as just being a thug and a hoodlum anyway, regardless of where you come from. And then sometimes you'll be like, okay, boom, this is a stereotype out there. I'm going to exploit it to my advantage and eat off of it. And then you really go into it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me authentic. You know what I mean? I mean, everything I say is just come up with anything I say to you out in the street straight up.
Right.
That's the type of energy I have. But I also have the entertainment side of me that I know how to turn it off. It's a on and off switch that you have to have.
Yep.
That's why I'm blessed to reach the age that I'm at right now. I know how to turn it on and turn it off.
Right.
When it's showtime, when the lights come on, when it's wrestling, oh my God, I'm going to show my ass. My grandmother told me straight up, hey, yo, you acting a monkey in class, you better be doing that when you get older to get paid for it. Because I was a class clown a little bit sometimes. I was make people laugh. I like that. And my grandmother said, you better get paid for it one day. So look what I'm doing.
There it is. So like,
you see the faces I be making? I've been making faces since I was in 5th or 6th grade, 7th grade.
So like you
without the gold teeth. Without the gold teeth.
So like you mentioned like, you know, it seemed like since you were a kid, man, you always been like kind of like a showman per se. Like you always like to, you know, make people laugh, you know, always like to be like I think that's kind of like a cool trait. Like where do you think that came from, man? Like where do you think that like that outgoingness and you just being you kind of came from? Like how do you think you developed that at such a young age?
Wow. There's certain people in my family. That is Keith. I can't forget about my family. Melissa, my uncles, my grandmother had you laughing here and there. You know what I'm saying? It was just that going on. And plus I could say basically just being a part of the football and basketball teams when I was younger. I played a little baseball too, but I ain't like baseball like that. I like to watch it, but playing it was just totally different for me. I just love some football and basketball and wrestling.
Mm-hmm. So like,
I want to tell you a story. My uncle used to live in Charlotte, North Carolina, right across the street from Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Wow.
And Jay Youngblood used to live a house block, like a house away from him on the same side.
Mm.
So we all lived in it. So I used to go to Charlotte, North Carolina to visit my uncle Elwood. I was in my own world anyway, because I used to get a chance to see Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Jay Youngblood come out their household. It blew my fucking mind.
Mm.
Seriously. It was crazy. World Tag Team Champions, Mid-Atlantic Wrestling at the time, NWA 83, 84. It was nothing like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in them, man. Nothing. Going to get Sergeant Slaughter, Don Carnoto, forget about it. The Briscoes, forget about it. Incredible time, man.
So like
wrestling.
Like just hearing you speak about your folks the way you just did, it always seemed like, it seems like you had a really tight knit family growing up, as far as like you had that kind of you had that support system going around you. Like what was it? Am I kind of like on point with saying that, like you did have like a tight knit group of family coming up?
Yeah, when I was younger, because I was raised at my grandmother's house for a quick minute. You know what I'm saying? So, grandmother got 12 kids, 11 kids and whatnot.
Mm.
She's the unit. Everybody's going to come down
Yeah,
here, the
come to
grandkids.
grandma.
Coming to see grandma.
Right.
And plus, grandma lived in a fly house in Virginia. Everybody wanted to come there. Upstairs, downstairs, front yard, backyard. Yo, man, we was running like wild animals. And we had a fucking ball.
Mm.
And you came up to New York City, you had an evil ass fucking super that used to put spikes on the stoops so the kids won't sit down. Just a different mentality.
Yeah.
Evil. But I loved it. I never take that time away.
I was about to say, because if it
balanced out.
I was just about to say that, because if it didn't happen,
the good and the bad.
Right. I was about to say, because if it didn't happen, it would have. It probably would have threw that balance off a little bit. So you kind of did get the best of both worlds in that sense. So like when you talk about you talk about being at your grandma's house and having all your family around you, like
man, hold on. Yo, dog, I came up to New York City saying, yes, sir, yes, sir, no, sir. The teacher pulled me out the class and told me we don't say that up here in New York.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was going to PS 147 in the Bronx and whatnot. Diana Sands, man, I will never forget that. The teacher had to tell me, yo, we don't say that up here. I'm giving her respect by calling her yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, or whatever. So I had to learn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I had to switch out. Yo, what's good? I want no respect. I ain't gonna give it to you then. Fuck it.
Right.
So why they mad at the kids right now? Why you didn't want respect? I demand respect.
Mm.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Know that a little bit.
Now, that's crazy that you mentioned that. You ever think it's because when you hear stories like that, you ever think it's because
that's old school, man.
Nah, but still, like you ever think it's because some of those teachers they probably didn't like. Well, I don't gonna say they didn't want you to succeed, but like I mean some people they have their own personal little agendas and vendettas that they have. Like, do you ever think they kind of acted like that towards you or other people just because of the fact that they probably didn't want you to?
Nah, but look, we're in the survival of the fittest. We're living in the Bronx. Systemic racism. It's a lot going on. Systematic racism. It's a lot going on that gives you that mentality. You don't know what's going on at home with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is.
Mm.
You just got to deal with it.
Right.
Makes you a better person. It gives you thick skin. Everything in life ain't sweet.
100%.
Fuck that. I want that. Give it to me. It made me a better person.
Hmm.
And that teacher became one of my best teachers of all time.
Yeah. Ain't that
I
something?
had a great time at that school.
I was about to say, ain't that something right there? The one that teacher became. Did you keep in contact with that teacher through like?
Oh, no, not like that.
Oh, it's just like.
God bless her heart. Not like that, yo. You bugging. I'm just saying, I just looking back at the experience in general.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Okay.
That's what I took from it.
Okay. I got you. But like are there any any wrestlers that stand out to you with the current generation? Anybody that you've seen that kind of pique your interest, and you look at them and you go, they up next, or they got this, or they got that. Any names that come to mind?
Wow. Basically, everybody from my camp. I mean, I think Papa Don deserves the opportunity right now to basically do his thing. He's definitely a veteran. You see his rain gear. He's ready to go showtime. Wow, Low Life Louis is the monster of hardcore and whatnot. I like to see him go against John Moxley or somebody like that in a hardcore match. Give him his opportunity. Homicide is still basically doing his thing. You see Santana Ortiz. They carry the torch. The young guys of LAX, you know what I'm saying? They doing anything. They humble dudes. Salute to those guys, man. Damn off, everybody, yo.
Mm.
Monster Mac.
Like
that's my team. Anybody I came up with, that's what I'm putting over.
Yeah.
If I missed your name, that's on me. I'm just saying 940 Jamaica Avenue, whoever turned pro from that time, I want to see you on TV now. My team.
Yeah, we talked about the ROH past versus present show. I know Ricky Reyes was supposed to come back for that. And you mentioned Santana and Ortiz. It's kind of crazy to see them, man. Like how.
And the rep, no. And the rep.
Yeah.
Those guys are tremendous. They are phenomenal athletes.
Mm.
And they signify what wrestling's all about. When you look at them, they can work with anybody. So I like to see them on TV too.
Mm.
The rep.
And like you mentioned Santana and Ortiz, man, like it's crazy to see like their trajectory, like, and like, cause I remember couple years ago, man, when they was first starting, they was rising up, man, and now these dudes on national television getting the main spotlight every week. You know what I'm saying? I think that's real cool to see, man, to kind of see that overall progression. And you talked about Dan Moff. I remember a story. It was I think it was earlier this year, when they talked about him after he came back to the locker room from he had a match in Ring of Honor, and he got like this big, like massive, like standing ovation from the locker room, man. Like everybody was like cheering for him and like going crazy for him, and like he kind of, he said like that moment kind of like made him like real emotional, because it seemed like he saw these like this mix of young talents and a mix of veterans like really show him that respect, and he said it made him like feel real solid to know that he was still appreciated for what he's been able to contribute, to the business. So I think that's cool that you still you got that love going for Dan Moff.
Had the proper social skills to navigate the system. I mean, basically that's what it's all about. Literally, psychologically, you have to be ready. Some people get into the WE and stuff like that. You know what the system is. Some people want to get there and try to change it. I understand that to a certain degree, but you know what it is before you get there. Just be a part of it. Exploit it before they exploit you. Know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And just be a team player. And Santana and Ortiz, basically they exemplify that. So they doing their thing, man.
Yeah.
They came up around the right dude, Joe.
Yeah.
It's all good, baby. Come, get it. But yo, let's talk about Undo Cardi, Radio Impact, DJ Green Guy, DJ King Assassins from Los Angeles to put us on. Symphonic Distribution. You know what I'm saying? Thank you from the West Coast. Tupac said the West Side was the best side. Thank you for the distribution deal that was given to my company. Absolutely. That's a big thing right there, man. Buddha Head Records, we getting it.
So let me hear more about Buddha Head Records and like how the formation of that, and tell me like what have you seen as far as like the growth of your business and your label. Like just talk to me about that and let me know, and let the people know that's listening, man, like just how you came to be with this and like just the overall formation of it and just watching it grow over the past years.
Just listening to Damian John, just talking about business and just incorporating yourself and controlling the whole spectrum. And that's what I wanted to do, yo. So I got in contact with the right people and got it rolling. And I pay my New York State taxes for my company, and I'm just making it happen. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Andre Harrell, Puff Daddy, Russell Simmons, Dub Jam, Crush Groove, all that just motivated me to do what I do right now, man. Just seeing that, yo. Just wanting to be a boss one day and control my own destiny. And then utilizing the knowledge to do it. And I'm here for the people, man.
Right. So
I'm just protecting my fortunes. So when I die, it goes to the right people, my family. If you were smoked, you're getting it. It's coming to you. When I die, it goes to you.
I think
I don't care what I leave on this earth. It's for you. That's all I'm saying. I just want to own something. Something wrong with that, black man?
Nah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I think that's
all I wanted to do, bro.
I think that's the way to be, man. Like I think there's not enough of that. Like I think matter of fact,
if I'm not one of your guys, I understand that. It is what it is. But when I am one of your guys, go well, I do my thing when I'm out there, man. Nobody stops me. The fans can feel the energy through that fucking TV. That this guy loves what he does out there.
Right. And like going back to what you said, I think that was something real important, talking about leaving something behind for your family. I think that's really become something. Well, matter of fact, not even become. I think it's been like that, and I don't think it's just touched on enough. Like I really do like when you hear stories about black people like loving to leave something a lot behind, for the people that's gonna be after them. I think that's something real solid, and like to hear that from you. I think that's a that's a real stand up thing to do, to be able to set the people up after you and your family up for for success, to kind of put them on the road to obtaining success on their own, but already kind of starting off with something. So I think that's real good right there.
Look, I just basically look at it and say, yo, when you come to New York City, you come to my household, you want for nothing. That's why I'm doing this. Because when I go out of town to our family houses, when I go to my friends, whatever it has to be, I want for nothing.
Mm.
So that's the type of attitude, that's the kind of people I'm around, man. You know what I'm saying? Is keep my head above water, wanting for nothing. So when you want something, you come get it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pop. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna do all that good shit here, yo. You want for nothing, because you're doing to others as you want done it to you.
Mm.
And I've been blessed to be around good people that show me the right way to how to do it. And that's it, man.
So like I remember last year it was a little story out there. I think it was something cool, man. I think you were at the Ring of Honor in New Japan G1 Supercard show at Madison Square Garden. I think you were at that show, or you was like in attendance or something like that. I remember I heard that story going around. Like what, like just tell me, like, man, somebody that's a ROH or like one of the staples of the early 2000s of ROH, man, and to see just them. Like how they gone from just of course they were already selling out shows, but like to see where they are now, man, and to be able to collaborate with a New Japan Pro Wrestling and sell out of Madison Square Garden. Like what was it crazy to just feel that energy inside that building, man, and just
even though somebody out Davis me, Marcus Allen me a long time ago, I didn't give a fuck, because I was like, yo, this is a great experience.
Right.
I'm coming to celebrate too. Urban Wrestling League sponsored the tickets that night, Loud of the Dawn. And we went in there and just had a ball, yo. Seriously. I just went in there and chilled. It was surreal atmosphere. I see some of the fans that been going to Ring of Honor shows for years up in there, bro. Seriously. And I was able to go to the back at the end of the show.
Oh, that's what's up.
Meet a couple of guys and whatnot coming out the entrance and stuff like that. Wanted to party afterwards, but it was a different group. They didn't want to do that.
No, that's cool, man.
Not my boys. It's a whole different generation, but they show love. Oh, Jay Smokes. Oh man, it was, as I said, it was a lot of love, man.
That's good to hear, man. That you got. I think it's always cool, man. Like when you attend these old shows, and like not old shows, but like when you attend these shows and like you get love from from the people that recognize you, and they kind of salute you for what you did in the business like that. But that whole weekend in New York, I think that was WrestleMania weekend last year. 2019, it was in New York, like in New York and the New Jersey area. Like, just tell me what that whole experience was like that whole weekend, because I know the city was crazy. It was packed, a whole bunch of people in town, man, a whole bunch of shows, and I think one of the big highlights from that weekend, of course,
a private contractor, network.
Right.
Basically, I think that was the only show I actually attended during that WrestleMania weekend was the Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, as I said, I went down there to celebrate. It was my celebration too. They made it to the Super Bowl.
Nah, for real. That's big.
For real.
That's big right there.
And the Urban Wrestling League, Loud of the Dawn, he wanted to celebrate. So, yo, Jay, this is you, man. I got tickets. I'm like, what? I was expecting to go. He was like, nah, you're going to celebrate, bro. I'm proud of everything you brought to the table during your time at the Ring of Honor. It was tremendous to hear that coming, just come up on my homie like that, man. We went in there and celebrated.
Yeah, because you
the rest is history.
I mean, whether people recognize it or not, you were one of the contributors to that. Like, I think everybody kind of laid down the foundation to let Ring of Honor get to where it is now, and to be able to run a Madison Square Garden. I think I think they were the first show to the first company outside of wrestling company outside of WWE to run MSG. No.
I don't think they necessarily had to do it, but that was somebody's personal achievement that they wanted to to have on their mantelpiece.
Mm.
Say we was able to make Madison Square Garden.
Right.
You know, if you grew up in Atlanta, the NWA circuit, I guess you'll say I want to make it to what at the time the Omni, or you want to make it to the Greensboro Coliseum. If you're an independent company, if you living down south, if you want to make it to the Greensboro Coliseum or to the Omni or something like that, that's the same equivalency you wrestle at Masquerade Garden in your eyes. If you was an NWA fan, you're a WWE fan, WWF, it's the Garden.
Right.
So, you know, that's the way I looked at it.
I think that's a solid point right there. But like, any like special highlights that you remember from that show, man? Opposed, like even from the people that you got to meet to some of the matches that you saw. Like I know one of the big things there, like when they had I know they had the Great Muta at the show, man, coming out in the Battle Royal. I think Liger was in the Battle Royal. Of course you had Jay Lethal competing in the main event. For the ROH World Title, man, and Jay Lethal's a staple in Ring of Honor, man. Everybody knows Jay Lethal, and that
was one reason why I went there too, because basically Jay Lethal. I mean, once an invitation was given, I'm like, I'm going anyway, But it was like, hey, Jay Lethal was on the card, absolutely. Started off with us, Jersey All Pro Wrestling,
headlining
trained
the show.
with Dead Mob, trained with Homicide. Wow, the list goes on. Deranged don't get no credit. He helped train a lot of different people too on the down low, but he was there, and wow, man, it was like, yo, our boy made it. He's here. He's doing this thing.
So like, you mentioned that, like, so tell me about some of the really like the unsung heroes, man, of the early 2000s and the late 90s. People who really should be getting that recognition, man, but they kind of got that pre-social media era, because like I feel like now anybody that's from like the early 2000s or the past decade or so, like I feel like it'll be easy to honor those people, because you could just easily turn them into you could easily find any of their videos or turn them into like a GIF or anything involving social media. Like, just tell me some of the people that you think really should be like that they should be honored in this present day in professional wrestling.
I'm not really saying this. Basically, people in general. I would say organizations.
Okay.
Basically, should be recognized and put to the forefront and say, "Hey, those were the guys that revolutionized and basically started what we're seeing right now." Jersey All Pro Wrestling, bro. That's all I'm gonna talk about. The catalog is out. Look at it, and then you form a judgment basically from there towards who you feel should have made it out that box to TV or whatever it has to be. Everybody's on TV now because the catalog is out.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it now. Everybody's on TV now. You got a smart TV, bop, you on TV. It's all about putting your material on the apps, networking, and knowing how to put your material out there to make it for everybody else to be out there to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of guys from that time. That's why I'm just going around it, because I really can't get the names in my head. But like I said, you look at Jersey All Pro. What was it them at the time? USA Pro. Wow, you taking me deep. Only thing I really remember was like the Ring of Honor, at MLW. MLW, when they started,
yeah,
they had all the talent there. They were supposed to be the next TV company, I thought. That's what I was told from the back. I met everybody there. Gary Hart, the Horseman. Rest in peace, Gary Hart, yo. I was able to smoke a blunt with Gary Hart inside a limousine. Bless up,
And you talk about MLW.
The Wild Samoans and all of them. I walked into the locker room. They knew who I was. It was Julius Smokes. I'm looking like, wow. I'm an honor you know my name. How you doing, sir? I'm in the business because of y'all, looking up to you dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because how nice they were, and because they're showing the brotherhood. That's one of the talented dudes. It was one of them situations. They just knew it.
No, I'm about to say,
incredible time.
I'm about to say, you want to know what's crazy? You mentioned the Wild Samoans, Alpha and Sika, man. Like they they would like I want to say like I want to say 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, they were just on WWE TV, and they came out on stage, man, and they got
Wow.
like they were with they on stage with Roman Reigns, and you know they kind of it was cool, man. They got to have that family moment right there, and I think that was like a real cool moment to see them still going strong. And I know yeah, man, I think that was just a real cool thing to see, man, to kind of see them on stage back again, and with their family members. So I think that was a real solid moment. I don't know if you had the chance to catch a clip of that. But going back to Jersey All Pro, man, I know on Twitter they still be promoting like some of the throwback shows that they had, like some of the uprising shows, like you see. And I remember a couple years ago, I know I know Jigsaw was still wrestling for them. Desmond Xavier, who was formerly when Impact was still was wrestling for them. The PUC people like Deanna Purrazzo, who was some when Jersey All Pro was going I think about several years ago. So man, it was cool to see, like, and it's still cool to this day to see them still like promoting the throwback shows that they used to have, man. I think I think it's real important to always keep keep the legacy alive, man, and let people know the impact that you had on the business.
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about Jigsaw. I mean, he had a exotic offense. You know what I'm saying? He brung something different to the table too.
Right.
That you basically see that the style being portrayed today in a lot of different ways. You see it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm surprised I don't see him on TV right now, because they're doing exactly what he does out there.
So
Big shout out to Jigsaw too, man.
So you mentioned Jigsaw, like I mean I mentioned Jigsaw, but like just continuing talking about him, like, so I know he was wrestling early this year before the pandemic. He was wrestling in Chicago. And he was
unmask him. Let me stop. Everybody was mad behind that shit. I was like, hold on, Game called that shot on. I had nothing to do with it, but it's the storyline. Go with it, baby. Mm-hmm. It's all good.
Right. But yeah, Jigsaw, man, like, it was crazy because I had looked him up, and I think Jigsaw's still in his 30s. So I was like, how old was he? Back in the 2000s, man. Like, Jigsaw was
yo. That's just crazy.
Right.
Nah. Yo, what?
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's what I said.
I had some undercover baby boomers around me too that I didn't really realize, but that's a sacrifice they made in wanting to be in the business. Like a young doctor of Terry Gordy. He started when he was 17, 16 years old. Roddy Piper, 16, 17 years old. Think about it. So, list goes on.
So, man, like, yeah, because Jigsaw right now, he only 36. So, but back then, Jigsaw he had to be a teenager. Had to be.
I ain't thinking of it like that. Yo, you crazy. Wow. Jacob for the foul of youth. God is great.
Yeah, man. But like, I'd be remiss not to talk about the Vulture Squad, man. Got to bring them up. But like, but like, it's probably not gonna be what you think I'm about to ask you. Like, of course, there was a lot of great members in the group, but like, one person that I did want to mention, that was a part of that group at one point, and she was only there for a short period of time, I believe, was a Mercedes Martinez. And like, and back in those days in Ring of Honor, when they had Shimmer going, you had of course, Mercedes Martinez, you had the Sarah Del Rey's, Chili, the Melissas of the world. Like, when you think back to that time period, man, and you see some of the talented women that y'all had around you, like, just thinking about it, like, not necessarily like a question, but it's more so just like a thought. Like, it's kind of crazy to think about, like, how if they would have been a part of this current boom of women's wrestling, man, where it's so spotlighted and everybody's getting a fair shake, it would have been crazy to see what their careers could have went. I was just wondering what your thoughts was about that.
I like the way you work it, no diggity. We're gonna burn it up. That's my bootylicious Vulture right there, yo. Martinez. Oh man, yo, she shines like a diamond, literally. WWE.
Yeah, she with WWE.
God
now.
bless her.
Yep.
She's definitely earned a spot in a lot of different ways. She's a veteran, and nothing but salute to her, She stayed with it, She got something out of it. She could have walked away from the industry years ago, but she didn't. She stuck with it. And still was having classic matches all over the world, you know what I'm saying? And they gave her opportunity, and she's taking advantage of it. and I'm definitely proud of her, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's cool to hear, man. Like I know.
No. She's a real OG, yo. I rode with a show with her a couple of times, yo. This her and I in a car that's kicking it. She's about her game, bro. Literally in every which way, and I respect that. And nothing but salute.
Right. And that
Seriously.
it's funny because Mercedes she's still killing it right now, man. I know she over the past, I want to say over the past couple weeks or
She's a personified athlete. She's passionate about what she does.
Yeah.
You know, once you stay passionate and you're really an athlete, you're going to get something out of this. You know what I mean? And she's blessed.
Yeah.
Save your money. That's what it's about right now. To save your money and enjoy life. She's living it.
Yeah. And I think it's cool, man, the fact that she's been able to like maintain like this. You know, I think a lot of people give Mercedes her flowers even to this day, but I think it's cool to like still see her like in these relevant spots. Of course, still with WWE, and you know she grinding away at it, man. So I think that's cool to like kind of see that progression that she had from back then all the way until now. Like I remember a couple years ago, I think it was 2018. I would say I remember she had like a 60+ minute draw, and I think it was in Shimmer or Shine. It was one of those promotions, and like,
Damn.
yeah, I know. Yeah, man, she went like 60+ minutes. It was an hour and some change. Like she went hard at it, and I remember that match, and it was crazy, man. Just to like, I remember specifically after that, you want to know the funny thing people were saying? They was like, well, that's Mercedes for you right there. They was like, hey, like it was people like I was like blown away by it, and it was people that was just like, hey, that's what she been doing. That ain't nothing new. You know, that's who she is.
Well, I know Jesse Brooks and Mia, what's her name?
Yeah, you talking about you made Mia Yim?
Yeah, Mia, incredible athlete,
Yeah.
yo. Her and Jesse Brooks had a match in the Valkyrie, and I wanted Jesse Brooks or have a three-way with Mia Yim, Jesse Brooks, and Martinez. That would have brought down the fucking house, you know what I'm saying, one of them situations. But the women go hard because they feel they have something to prove. At the same time, they really don't. Literally, you didn't prove yourself already, ladies. Hold yourself down. Take care of yourself out there, and you capture the youth imagination.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. Capturing the imagination. And I don't usually talk to old cats, to my any 40s, 50s, and shit like that about wrestling too much, unless you're one of the boys. I'm looking at the little kids out there, how they're reacting to it more than anything else, because that's when I fell in love with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My uncles and them never liked wrestling. They always had something smart to say about it, want to turn the TV or want to say, you know what I'm saying? Some crazy shit. Unless they liked it, literally. And I'm one of the uncles that you're going to watch it all day with me. I used to let the kids go to bed at night. You're going to sleep to a silent NWA film. You know, with there's no commentating, but you just seeing Greg Valentine going against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat or something like that, but it's just silent. They watching it. They love it. They grew up watching wrestling. They're gonna love it the way I did.
So like last couple questions before we wrap it up here, man. One thing I was curious to hear about, like how cool do you think it is like to see this current crop of wrestlers like really treating themselves like a business, like opposed to just being a wrestler or being like sticking to one thing. Like I feel like specifically like with this current crop of talents, man, there's so many people like they doing so many different things. People up in movies, people doing the streaming thing with video games, people doing the YouTube, people doing like so many different outlets. It's not just wrestling, and they kind of like building themselves as a brand and like treating themselves as a business. I just wanted to get your thoughts about that and what you think about you know wrestlers doing that.
Everything that glitters ain't gold, baby. Hold on, let's retract that a little bit. I mean, they basically try to monetize and try to be on certain networks, but it depends on who you work for that will deprive you of the opportunity of really getting that money.
Fair point.
You know what I'm saying?
100% on that. It's some relevant points that's going on today that you just said.
Because WWE, I mean, being an independent contractor like I am right now, I get paid off of Facebook, Instagram, Switch. Wow, it's a lot of different platforms I do because I'm not signed with the WWE. You understand where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
But if I was, it seemed like Vince McMahon don't want you having those platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess he want a percentage from them. He not been asking for a percentage. He's saying he don't want you to have the platform, right?
Man, essentially that they put in the third party edict for talent, so essentially he want them, yeah, basically he want them off that platform. And like it was a lot of wrestlers, man, that was making a lot of money off the cameo and off that bunch of stuff. They was bringing in a lot of money for themselves on top of the contracts, the WWE, and they got the rug pulled out under them from that. So I never agree with that. I don't think that's I think that just ended up causing trouble all across the board. But like you kind of see like a lot of people now they talking about they think the wrestlers, specifically the contracted WWE wrestlers, should like start like a union. So I was curious, like, what you think about them possibly banding together to start a union? Because I feel like with WWE, their main goal is to keep their shareholders happy. And I think that's what they look at the most. I think that's what I think that's overall. Like, and I'm not there to say that they don't care about the talent, but just from the outside looking in, I could just see that their main goal is to keep the stocks up. Their main goal is to keep the shareholders happy. So when I think about people starting up unions and the wrestlers in WWE starting up unions, I was like, man, like, okay, let's say they do that. I think it'll help them so much more in the benefits department. But like I feel like WWE is going to keep their stocks up in the way they're going to keep the shareholders happy. And by way of doing that, I think they're going to take money from the wrestlers, and I think it's going to take a great chunk out of their contracts, and that stuff going to be used to keep, like I said, the shareholders happy. So I was like, it's kind of like a mixed bag when you think about it. And like,
Yeah, it is.
yes,
Absolutely.
So I was like, so what you think about all that?
There's a million ways how to skin a cat. I'm a musical artist. You know what I mean? So my performer right organizations collect my royalties for me on different platforms. You know what I'm saying? So wrestlers don't have that, and the game is sold, not told. So God bless them. You know what I'm saying? Vince McMahon, WWE is a machine.
Definitely is.
You either respect it or you don't, and it is what it is. I mean, wow. I leave it alone. It's a machine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is before you get there.
Yeah, that's
So as
true.
I said, you exploit it. You exploit it before they exploit you. He caught on to something. Now, you just have to use your wisdom
And navigate the system.
and navigate the system, man.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of great things that goes on there. You take advantage of it, bro.
Right.
As I said, it's one of the greatest opportunities to have when you're an independent contractor and say that you signed to the WWE. That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
And,
You know what I'm saying?
nah, I feel you.
You signed to AEW. Any one of those people right there, you're blessed.
Yeah. And
And take it as a blessing.
and on the music front, like, I'm pretty sure you own your own label, and you been in the music business for quite some time. I know you've seen a lot of artists like just go straight into deals without fully looking over everything, or kind of really considering what they about to sign, and they end up in these kind of like ass backwards deals and stuff like that. Can you just speak to me about the music business part of that, like how we just talked about WWE and certain stuff involving contracts, and like you just talked to me about the music front and how it's kind of but not it's not the kind of thing, but it can be the same thing in similar ways.
Yeah, it's all about if you want to take a payout or you want to be part of the royalty system when it comes down to streaming and downloading. It's all about what they let you get your royalties on. You know what I mean? WWE is basically, I'm not really sure how their system is. You know what I'm saying? Basically, when it comes down to the DVDs, when they're streamed on YouTube and all this other stuff that they do.
Yeah.
As I said,
That WWE they getting a cut out of everything.
It's a business, bro. And it's a lot that goes on to it, and it all depends on who you sign to get your royalties done. And the game is sold, not told, bro.
Yeah. So like, Julius, man,
do your homework.
So like when you
do your fucking homework.
So like when you look back at your pro wrestling and your music careers, like where you stand right now, like would you say like you of course you proud of everything you accomplished, but you say like you like completely fulfilled as far as like what you've done so far, and it's like yeah, I carved out a pretty nice life for myself, man, and I got to live out my dreams and all that good stuff. Would you say that you've reached that point, in your life where you have that feeling?
No, I've been stifled. This fucking corona monster came around
Right.
and robbed us of a lot of different things that I was going to do this year in general. Now we in survival mode when it comes down to saving your money and keeping your head on the swivel because you don't know what's coming next. I'm dealing in reality. I have shows coming up for February the 27th for the MAC, this new organization. Next year, Capital Wrestling is coming up in January, a couple of shows. And guess what? The card is subject to change because of this corona.
Right.
So nothing's promised. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know who's going to die next. I'm not paranoid, but I'm just keeping it 100 with you. It's more than numbers you're looking at on TV. Those are people. They need to start putting numbers up there and start putting faces up there to replace the numbers. Those are real people. So I don't know who's next.
Yeah.
Wear your fucking mask.
Just say that again, man, please.
Yo, I hate when people pull down their masks and start talking to me. The spit. The corona's in your spit, dummy. Pull your mask up.
It's great.
Or stay away from me. Or talk from a distance. Let's respect one another.
You wanna know what's crazy?
So we can get through this.
You wanna know what's crazy, man? How people really think that this thing, it's people out here that really think that this thing ain't real. And but I be like when I hear people say that, I always think
they don't think God is real either because they don't see him. Yo, you know what?
That's real.
I'm gonna give you a jewel.
I like that.
I'm gonna give you a jewel before we get off this.
Okay.
I was walking across 138th Street Bridge, right? This dude tells me to look up in the sky and see UFO flying around. I looked at him like he was smoking crack cocaine. He was on hold on, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, right? I'm gonna keep it 1 grand with you. I look up. I ain't see nothing. I'm looking at this dude like, man, nigga, stop smoking that crazy shit. I look up again. Guess what I seen?
What?
A UFO.
Real shit?
I got that for you.
You?
Dark gray. It hovered over the Harlem River, and it went back in the sky. I didn't even look back at the guy. I looked at the traffic like, y'all didn't see that? So I went home. I thought it was a movie. I thought they were shooting a Star Trek movie. And to this day, I don't know what that was. So you got a jewel right there.
There it is.
There
it is.
Homicide will be. Yo, every time I tell that story, Homicide will be laughing. But that's a jewel right there. I got you on that one.
There it is, man. There it is.
There it is. Yeah, there it is.
But like, yeah.
No. On the real, I thought Homo was smoking K2. It's a K2 area. As I say, yo, we live in certain areas in New York where you see that, yo, it's the drugs is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We just living in time. It was the same thing in the 80s, 90s, 70s, same shit you see now, but you see it in a different form. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when he told me that, that's the first thing that went through my mind, bro. You know what I'm saying? First thing went through my mind. I look up, I see nothing, keep walking, stand still traffic. I look up again, the shit comes down, hovers over the water, makes no sound, and goes right back up into the sky. Dark gray. It made no sound. And I kept walking. Huh?
That's it.
I looked at the traffic like, y'all didn't see this? Dog, you didn't see that. But homeboy, as he told me, is one flying around. He said, yo, it's a UFO flying around. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody when I'm walking anyway in New York if I don't know you. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where you from?
Maryland.
Oh, Maryland. Oh, DMV, baby. Love it down there, yo. My cousin's down there, baby. Chocolate City, but it used to be, baby.
Used to be.
I used to love it.
Used to be.
Oh, my God.
It used to be. It ain't no more.
That's what BET was down there. That's what BET was down. I was, what? I look out the car, girls start hollering and screaming, I love you with your fucking gold teeth. I said, these girls out here is aggressive. I love it. Yeah, I love them. Oh, my God. I love every bit of it.
Oh, my goodness, man. Hey.
The girls are so bored down there, want to put you inside their houses. The military women. Let me stop. I know what's going on, bro. Stop playing.
Hey, Julius, man. I just want to thank you for taking the time, man. It was great to hear from you, man. I'm glad I got to get in contact with you and set this up, man. So, like, anything you got going on, man. You got your social media, merchandise, please, man. Plug everything. I'm gonna make sure to plug it in the description of the video. Make sure everybody's able to reach you, man, and show love. So yeah, floor is yours.
Google Ducati, Julius Smokes.
There we go.
Buddha Head Records. That's all I can do is Google us. You know what I'm saying? Radio Impact, DJ Green Guy, DJ King Assassins, Lotto the Don. You know what I'm saying? Urban Wrestling League, which is a new single that's out right now. Blood Fire by Ducati. It's out right now. Number one in Jamaica. It's crazy right now with Blood Fire. And just Google us. Julius Smokes on Ducati. You get everything what you need.
There we go.
Just Google us.
There we go.
Yeah.
And y'all can check out Julius merchant.
And on Pandora. We on Pandora too. We everywhere. Just Google us. Pandora. We on all musical platforms. Just like Jay-Z. We everywhere.
And that includes Spotify, Apple Music, all of it. Go check them out, man. You can
everywhere.
You can go to Julius merchandise store at Widow Maneuver. Go check out all his merchandise up there, man. And there you have it, folks. Go support this man. One of the greats, man, in pro wrestling. One of the greatest managers, greatest mic. One of the people that had the mics in their hand. One of the greats of that in that portion, man. So everybody go support him. Everybody on Andrew Thompson of the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. I'm signing off right now with the man himself, Julius Smokes, and we are out. Peace.
Thank you.